Today, we're hearing real stories of people who were let go without notice. Welcome to the real economy.
So I think I'm being laid off from my job today. If you couldn't tell by my appearance, I have been crying all morning. I haven't even had my meeting yet, but I got a calendar meeting today from someone I've never spoken to at the company, and a bunch of other people did too. So I am recording this because I feel like a lot of people can probably find comfort in knowing they're not alone. So we will see. Maybe it'll be something positive. Maybe I'm not getting laid off, but I am shaking.
That does impact your position. Today is going to be your last day.
I've loved my time here and I'm very thankful for it. So I appreciate it. I did not think that that would be my last day. My laptop's not even working anymore for me to like save things. Like,
I don't give a fuck about that.
Okay. All right. Well, I need you gone by 4 p.m. This is too much. This is not being professional. You gotta leave. You gotta leave.
Fucking wanted to work here in the first fucking place.
Okay.
You're lucky as my things I tried again fucking order.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave you at that. I'll give you 5 more minutes and that's it.
I don't like none.
Okay.
I the only person in here who does actually do something, dog.
That's not correct. You stay watching Netflix on the TV. You stay doing all of these things.
We 5,000 over budget this year, but Stacy using the fucking paper and the printer to print.
Well, you gotta go. I'll give you 5 more minutes and you gotta leave.
Flyers.
All right.
Don't worry about
All right, hurry up. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta leave. You gotta leave. Okay, it doesn't matter. You gotta leave. Okay, leave, please.
It's true, you know I want to fucking leave it over. You gotta leave.
Okay.
But you're calling, man.
Okay. Oh, and you know what? And you actually forgot your pens as well. You gotta take that as well. Okay. All right. Please leave.
All your shots.
Okay. All right. That's the reason you're getting fired.
Yo, so I just lost my job, my day job, my main job. And I just moved from an apartment where I was paying $1,200 of rent to a house where I'm paying $25. But, you know, I cried some tears, but they're angry tears because I about turned that bitch out. I try not to cuss anymore in 2025. Because I'm like, I could have mailed y'all this computer. Y'all had me drive an hour and a half to tell me that you were restructuring the company after I spent the last 3 years building the structure of this company. It's crazy. But anyways, I should probably be freaking out. I think I've kind of went through all the stages. Like I had this weird laughing fit where I just laughed about it because the gag is, what the fuck? I mean, what the freak? But it's okay because this is where I thrive. I thrive when I get put in these situations where people think that I'm about to be down bad. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm about to take off with my businesses. If y'all made it this far in this video and you do see me promoting anything about my businesses, I have a bookkeeping business, I have a beauty business, and a candy business. If you see me promoting anything about any of those, a financial business as well, definitely support it. Other than that, I don't know why my lips are so dry. I got my retainer in. Listen, it is what it is. But just know and mark this moment. Today was the first day of the rest of my life. And I'm about to really get out here and grind and work for myself. Because I'll be damned if I go and I'll be darned if I go and give another company my time like that just for them to let me go in this situation. Because y'all could have at least, the same way I got to give y'all a 2-week notice, y'all could have gave me a 2-week notice because y'all been knew this. When you set up this meeting, you knew that this is what you were calling me in here for. So all of y'all are just fake and weird. Like, I work for a small company. It's only like 12 people at this company. And I've been knowing y'all for the last 3 years, spent more time with y'all than I was spending with my kids at a certain point because I'm with y'all all day. They're at school. It's just crazy, but it's okay. It's okay. because this is my season. And I had just got above water, bro. I swear to God, I just got above water. I was just starting to do good. I had got my second job going. I was getting my clients for my business, all of that. And then I just get fired. It's all right, though. It's all right. Watch this. Watch this.
Have you ever been laid off with no warning? What did it feel like? Check if your state offers backdated unemployment. Some do if you apply right away.
So I got laid off today. Just something I've never experienced in my 32 years of life. I have always had a job. I think I'm still in shock. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do next. Which is a really weird but good feeling.
So yesterday I got laid off from a job that I loved. This is the first time in my 8 years of marketing, 8+ years of marketing, because I started working in college, that this has happened to me, and I really don't know how to process this. Yesterday on my call with the higher ups, I just went deadpan, showed no emotion, just said, okay, sure, okay, what's next? What are next steps? And that was the end of the call. And 24 to 48 hours later, I still feel the same exact way. It's almost like my body's like, no, this didn't just happen, because I find myself still checking my Google Calendar and Slack on my phone as if I have a job. For whatever reason, I feel some sort of relief. But at the same time, disrespected and undervalued. I don't know what this process is going to be like. I know a lot of people equate it to like a death, and sort of there's a grieving process. I feel like if that were the case, then I would be sort of crying and screaming, throwing up, and doing the most. But I think the most frustrating thing for me is post-college, post-high school even, I moved for college, then studied abroad. Immediately after graduation, I moved from Texas to LA to New York, and now back to Texas. So I've never had really any stability longer than 2 years. And I was really hoping that, okay, we've settled in Texas, we're gonna re-sign our lease. My job is stable for once. I don't know what next steps are gonna be. I definitely have been toying around with the idea of moving again. I would love to live the digital nomad lifestyle for a little bit, but at the same time, I crave stability. I'm hoping during this time off, I can really sit and think about what next steps are gonna be. I am turning 30 this year, so this is like quite a shock and not really what I hadn't expected in terms of like my career growth and timeline. And any advice for other people that this has happened to, where it's truly a job that you loved. I was there for 5 years, and I really didn't think this would happen to me, because I was under the mindset of, well, there have been employees come in and out of the company throughout those 5 years, but I've always remained loyal. And I truly never thought this was gonna happen to me. 2 biggest lessons that I've learned from this experience is, 1, you're not always safe, no matter how long and how loyal you stay to a company. And 2, don't ever let a company kill your joy outside of work. I found passion in content creation years ago, and was in a situation where I was being pressured by higher ups to not pursue those endeavors outside of work because it technically competed with my marketing role. I totally regret that. Had I continued content creation on my other platforms to this day, it would be so much more fruitful. I had an Instagram account where I was making money from brands, doing UGC work before the pandemic, before even UGC was a thing. And I was pressured by higher ups to cut that business because it competed with the brand that I was working for full time, which made no sense because they're 2 completely different areas of business. I really valued that full-time position, so I chose to shut down those accounts, stop working with clients, and and really just cut off that source of revenue that could have been more fruitful had I continued doing that up until this point, along with the full-time job. My phone died. But just to wrap it all up, I would love for anyone to leave any sort of advice. Let me know what your experience was like. Again, I feel like it's pretty unique because I actually did love this job. And yeah, I want to know how you processed, what steps you took to get to where you are now. Anything. I think anything would be really helpful. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.
We do ask that you sign. Do you have any questions for us now?
No, I don't.
Action of force.
Yeah. Just let us.
Thank you.
All right, Aiden. Well, okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Don't even cry. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything always happens for a reason. Everything literally always happens for a reason.
What would you do if your paycheck stopped tomorrow? Look into side hustles or gig work early, even while you're still employed.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I've been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying because, not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands. I always preach internally and here at home that we have got to be the people in the driving seat of our futures, of our careers. And when a company takes that control out of your hands, it sucks because all of a sudden the plan that you had, the roadmap that you were on board for, is gone. Now you've got to start over. And this is why you've always got to have a plan B, a plan C, and most importantly, an emergency fund. I am incredibly upset and frustrated. There have been several shifts in the company in this last couple of months that I just knew the writing was on the wall and I knew my time was coming. But the fact that we have an emergency fund, because ultimately that is what matters at the end of the day, is that we have money to pay our mortgage, to pay for our daycare. We have that as a fallback, and I can take time, maybe a week, to just collect my thoughts and put together a strategy for job hunting. Always be prepared for the unexpected, because ultimately companies will always put themselves first. And as much as you want to believe that you're part of the family, you like the people you work with, it's a business transaction. It's a business contract, and you've got to handle it as such. But please know that you are more than your job. You are more than what you do. Have a plan, have an emergency fund. Do not spend more than you need to. Live below your means. We are in strange times. That isn't beside me losing the job, just general messaging. Protect yourselves, treat yourself as a business, and always be looking for better opportunities, because companies would do the same, and they are.
So I just lost my job today, and it feels weird to even say that. It has not set in, but yeah, I am unemployed. To say that I'm stressed out is an understatement. The timing actually is really not great because I am planning a wedding and I'm also announcing something really big later this week. I know I'm saying this with a smile on my face because I smile and laugh when I'm stressed out, but I can promise you I'm freaking out on the inside. You best believe I'm about to be popping my punani on TikTok. You will never see more content from me because I have so much fucking time. So yeah, if you have any interest in me, following me could be so cool right now because this is all I've got. I'm also about to be applying to jobs like crazy, so I figured I would document this journey because I'm sure everyone is going through it with layoff season. So you're gonna see so much. I'm trying to look at the positive. I'm excited to take you through my unemployment journey and finding a new job and just figuring out this phase of life. So if you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything you want to see on this journey, let me know because I have lots of time. So thanks for joining me, and I'll definitely see you tomorrow because this is it.
Dominic, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
No problem.
I'm going to have Brittany lead us, and then I will wrap it up at the end.
Sounds good.
Hey, Dawn. As Alex Forley's presented in the U.S. All Hands, we are in the unfortunate situation where we need to further reduce operational costs to make up for our revenue gaps in 2024. Unfortunately, such cost reductions have impacted your position, and we will be formally eliminating it. The position we are in does not negate the incredible work and contributions you've made during your tenure at this company, and thank you for maintaining such commitment and dedication to your role over these past few years.
In terms of the details of your exit, and apologies, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I'm going to try to speak clearly. Your position is eliminated. This is not as a result of personal performance, and so what I do want to offer, in addition to the separation package, which I'll talk about in a second, is if you need a letter of recommendation specifically saying that your position was eliminated due to a broader reduction, we're very happy to provide that to you. So that is an option. Obviously, you have Brittany and team who can help in terms of networking and so forth as well. So your official last day will be today. And as a result of that, shortly here after this conversation, you will likely lose IT access. That's just part of our standard practice. And then from a separation perspective, we would like to offer you severance. That severance would be paid per our standard payroll practice. So on the 15th and the last day of every month, and will be processed should you choose to sign it in the following pay period after you sign it. So essentially think about it like salary continuation in terms of how it's paid out. We do that, just so you know, because if I was to do it in one lump sum, you would get taxed on it like if it was a bonus. And we want to make sure that you reap as much benefit from that payment as possible. Do you have any other questions? I know this is a lot to sink in, so things might pop up.
If any other questions, I'll make sure to reach out. Thank you for the call, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for your professionalism. You make a difficult conversation easy for us.
Do you have an emergency fund or backup plan? Most people don't, and that's okay. What's your plan now?
So I was fired today and wanted to come on because I feel like, number one, this happens to a lot of people, and I was really blindsided by it. The reason I wanted to come on, number one, is because I feel like this happens to a lot of people, and it's like shocking and a lot to process. You work for a company with people for a long time, and then to like just get a Zoom, or like this was like a random meeting put on my calendar, and it only showed like my manager on it. I didn't know like the HR person was gonna be on too, and then they just like said it very kind of coldly and then they just read out like the severance stuff and just said like, it's your last day, effective immediately, and then just like log off, and you're just kind of like, what is happening? And I think the problem for me is, so they said it was because of a conflict of interest, and essentially at the start of the year, my husband, who worked at the same company as me at the time, he quit because he didn't, he wanted to pursue other things. And at the time, I remember them being really pissed about it because my husband is really good at his job. He's really good at sales, and they just kind of lost this really great salesperson. So they were blindsided by him leaving. And then one day randomly, my manager called me. It was like, how's it going? Normal conversation. And then he goes on to like completely blindsides me, and he's like, so where's Tanner going? And I'm like, I don't know, like he's just figuring out what he wants to do. We have a couple real rental properties, and I was like, he's gonna work on like managing them, and yeah, like I don't know, that was like it. I just said he's doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He just wants to change like what he's doing. And then he's like, well, you know, if he ever works at one of our competitors, then that's good, and you guys live in the same household, that's gonna be a real problem. And I'm like, okay. It was just a really uncomfortable situation, and I felt like my job was being threatened at the time. So I get off the call, tell Tanner about it, and he's like, what the fuck? He didn't have, you know, the balls to ask me directly about what I'm doing. Like, no questions about it to him when they had a conversation on the phone. But he'll go to my wife and try to get information out of her. So that just set him off. So we reported that to HR, had a conversation about it, and yeah, I mean, it was fine, moved on. I like reviewed the handbook and everything, and it didn't say anything about like, you know, family or spouse working at another company. So flash forward to like April, May, and Tanner came out on LinkedIn and said he's working at this adjacent company now, and I'm guessing that's what set them off, because I got let go because of a conflict of interest. And it's because my husband works at a competitor company. My husband, not even me. And I'm just trying to process this. So like I went back to the handbook, and they added that your family cannot work at a competitor. Your family cannot work at a competitor. What?
Yes, this is ghetto, crying on camera, but like I just got laid off from my job or fired. And for the simple reason that I told them that I wasn't happy with my raise because they promoted me without letting me know. And I just asked for a raise more than what I got.
So I'm more calm now, and basically I'll do a story time. So I got my raise, you know, they're like, hey, this is your raise, you know, and like it was a fast thing, like, hey, this will be your raise, you're going from this to this. So I'm doing my math and everything. I go to my desk, and it was 92 cents. I get it, I should be grateful, I get it, you know, a lot of people don't get raises at all or get less than that. I'm shocked because, you know, I just, for the amount of work, you know, I do. So then we get an email like maybe 2 hours before, you know, I'm about to leave, and they're like, oh, you know, the promotions, you know, who got promoted or whatever, my name's on it. So then like I emailed my boss and was like, hey, can we follow up on this, like when you have time? So I go in and I was like, no one told me about my promotion. And he's like, oh, you didn't get promoted, we're just changing your name or your title. I'm like, what? So I'm over here like just changing it. I'm like, I like the job, but so there was this girl who got fired, so I was covering her, but I'm doing her role and my role. So for me, it's like I'm doing the job of two. He was like, you're so ungrateful, we gave you a 4% raise. And he was like, if you're not happy, you can leave. And I'm like, I'm not gonna leave unless you know, tell me to go. He said that I didn't want to leave because I wanted to get fired from him and get unemployment. And I was like, no, like I'm here in peace. I'm just trying to ask what's right, you know, giving my good points. He tells me go back to work at my desk, and I go, and then 10 minutes later, they tell me to leave the laptop and everything and to grab my stuff and go. So yeah, I am unemployed, and it sucks to be unemployed right before the holidays. So.
So take today, I'd encourage you to do self-care, talk with your family, just process. You know, having a job loss is one of those difficult things. And really, I know Rakisha has talked about really enjoying working with you, and I know that your team will be missed. So we really do wish you the best. things that you may have. So your ID badge is another one of those.
And before we go, Giselle, I just wanted to also close by saying you can definitely reach out to me anytime. I'm always here for you. I fully support your endeavors in the future. And just as a friend to talk or anything like that, or to chat, I'm always here for that. And wanted to send my love to you.
Thank you. Sorry, I appreciate it.
That's all right. Thank you.
I wanted to do a follow-up to the Equifax story that I just posted. I used to work for this consulting firm. I had a coworker who used to complete all their work in 20 hours. Everybody else would take 40 hours or more to complete their work, but they always completed ahead of everybody else. And because of this, they felt like they had too much free time, so they wanted to get a second job. Now, I don't understand why employers get upset about this, because when you hire somebody for 40 hours as a full-time employee, whether they work the 40 hours or don't, it really doesn't matter as long as their work is getting completed. Y'all don't say anything when people work over 40 hours, so why does it matter when we work under? Anyway, so after interviewing with a few companies, they got a job offer pretty quick. This is where they messed up. They listed the current employer, the consulting company, on their background check information, which you never do. And if you do, you make sure you check that box that says do not contact this employer. So the background check people contacted the consulting firm. HR answered the phone, said, yes, they work here, and immediately went to the CEO to say, hey, I think this person's interviewing and may take another job. I think a week or so went by and they didn't say anything, but eventually they confronted my coworker and said, hey, we were contacted by this company. Do you work there? They didn't want to lie, obviously, so they said, yes, I do. The CEO was so pissed only because they felt like the coworker was stealing money from the company, because they could have brought that opportunity into the organization for the organization to make more money. That's how consulting firms work. They're going to charge the client like $300 an hour, but only pay you $50 an hour. And they fired her effective immediately. And it's just crazy to me because they were upset that this coworker chose to monetize their extra time solely because that monetization excluded them from the pot. Even if this coworker brought this opportunity to the company, they were not going to give this person a pay raise. I know, because I used to bring clients to the company all the time and I was not compensated for that. So yeah, these companies need to mind their business. If the work is getting done, that's all that matters.
Thanks for watching The Real Economy. If you're struggling, check the free tools and links below. You're not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories.